Retirement can be a scary subject for many people, but with the help of Hill & Hill Financial and our great friend Morgan Hill, he breaks it down, makes it a little bit easier for us.
We try to, Jess. Good morning.
You always do a great job, I think.
Well, we do our best.
And this morning we're talking about income. You know, we like to get our paychecks now. We would prefer not for them to stop when we retire in some ways, right?
Yeah. You know what's really interesting is now that we're in the 21st century, you know, we're used to like getting those checks, but we used to get these things called pensions. And there are folks that could be listening in today that still get them after many years of hard work, but a lot of us aren't going to get one. And so how do you plan to make sure that that income is reliable, it's sustainable? Because we like it now when we're working, that every Friday or every other Friday you get that check. You want to make sure that you get the same in retirement. Right.
We still have, you know, a stream of money coming in.
Yeah.
Because there's still going to be those expenses. They never go away.
Yeah, even if you pay off everything, which is great, my belief is real simple. In retirement, the happiest folks that I've met are the ones that don't have any debt. You know, houses paid, cars paid. But, you know, as we think about this whole topic, the first thing that we always share with folks is, one, do you actually have a written plan? And people kind of, you know, scrunch their face and go, well, what do you mean? It's kind of like building a house. I haven't met anyone who built their own house without a set of drawings.
Right.
And so one of the things that we advocate, folks, as you're listening, do you have a written plan that looks at really all of the sources and streams of money, adjusted for any cost of living, and you're going to get raises, and then we look at expenses. And then what we try to do is kind of map it out, maybe a graph that shows income and expenses, and it's a real simple thing. You want to make sure that you have more coming in than going out.
Right.
And having that written plan, folks, is really key. So as you're listening this morning, if you say, I don't know that I have one of those, you know, we'd be honored to, at the end, there's going to be our phone number, happy to have a conversation with them that says, how do you make sure that you have that so that you not only don't run out when it's maybe the two of you, but also what happens if it's just the one of you? Because folks are living longer.
Right.
And that's a good thing.
And that is a good thing. And, you know, one thing that you try to touch on is that we always want to, you know, plan for the expected, but be prepared for the unexpected also.
Yeah, exactly. Because what we've discovered, we've been doing this, I think, going into our 19th year, helping folks get to and through retirement, is we deal with a lot of folks that, you know, the unexpected happens. Someone gets sick, someone passes away at just the most unlikely of times, and then they were so prepared to like get to it, they didn't think about how to get through it. And part of our role as retirement specialists is to make sure that you kind of have that plan to get through it as well. So you have that written plan. You also want to make sure that you know that all of your expenses will be covered with income that's stable and or guaranteed. And so there are a lot of different tools out there versus just, we hope the stock market is going to be cooperative.
Right.
We don't love the market. We don't hate the market. We just know it goes up and down over time. And it's kind of like if you had a vacation. Well, if you're going to go on a vacation, you want to make sure that you plan appropriately if the weather could change. I don't think there's any bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. So we just want to make sure that, just like retirement, we don't know what's going to come at us, that you actually have a plan to deal with some of the ups and downs. And that's what we look at.
I can completely relate. I had a trip to Nebraska a few years ago, and I checked the weather the day I left.
Oh, yeah.
Supposed to be in the 60s, 65. By the time I landed,
Yeah.
it was a blizzard.
Yeah, I always keep a coat and an umbrella, and everybody laughs at me. And
I had to go
"Listen,
shopping.
You don't know what's going to come your way." So as we think about retirement, we want to think about income. Is it reliable, sustainable? Is it going to cover all those bills, not just for the both of you, but maybe if it's the one of you? And do you have that written plan that you can have confidence, not just about having a document, but it's giving you that confidence to know that you'll never run out of money, and it's one of the biggest fears that folks have. And part of our role is to make sure that those fears are subsided and you have confidence in retirement.
Well, you don't know what you don't know.
Absolutely.
I love that saying. And of course, you are always here for us, but you also have a great tool in the form of your book that kind of highlights these pillars.
Yeah. A couple of years back, I came up with the book, Building a Better Retirement, which is the name of the show. And really, retirement is like building a house, and you kind of have these load-bearing walls. And I'm not a construction person, but I do know about load-bearing walls. And there are really 4 of them in retirement. And the first one that we're talking about today is, do you know that your investments will create income that you know that you'll never run out of? And then we deal with the state, and we deal with taxes and risk management. But that first key pillar, and do you have that confidence in making sure that you've looked at your Social Security? That's a big one. Did I file at the right time? And then how does Medicare fit into all that? And so we try to take some of the mystery, some of the confusion out, and people just go, wow, that wasn't nearly as hard as maybe they had thought. So if you have some clarity, we think that clarity creates confidence.
Well, there's so many moving parts that
That's right.
it's hard on our own to fully understand it.
Yeah,
and we're
yeah.
so thankful that you're here to help guide us.
It's always our pleasure to come on, and again, we're trying to help folks get to and through that retirement, and anything that we can ever do to give people that peace of mind. It's our pleasure to be able to do that.
How do we get started with you, Morgan?
Well, first, there's a 1-800 number, 800-887-9647. And we've got folks at our office that if you want to call, we're happy to have a no cost, no obligation consultation to sit down and see where you're at. And then also this morning, we've got copies of my book that are available. They're complimentary. So if you want to, dial that 1-800-887-9647. And so for those first 10 callers that dial in, we're happy to give you a complimentary copy. We'll send that out to you that talks in detail about these 4 pillars of retirement and really how you build that better retirement.
It is such a perfect starting point as well.
It really is, and it's just our honor as we work with families all over the country, but specifically here in Eastern Tennessee and North Georgia, and we just have a lot of fun doing it, and again, giving people that confidence to say, I can do this, and it's not nearly as maybe scary and confusing as they thought.
Well, you do always make it fun for me when we talk about it, and I'm a person that even though I'm not close to retirement by any means, I'm still worried about it already.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, so again, call that number, 800-887-9647, and those first 10 callers ask for your complimentary copy of my book, Building a Better Retirement. We're happy to send it to you.
All right, Morgan, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you in the studio. I know we'll talk to you again here in about a
You
month or
bet.
so.
Thanks so much, Jess.
All right, we'll be right back on Let's Chat.